SOPA, the Stop Online Piracy Act, and PIPA in the Senate, they are being pushed aside. They're being delayed today. That's the news of the day out of the Congress. Harry Reid says he's going to delay a vote. And Lamar Smith, the congressman from Texas, who I personally can't stand, has decided that he says it is clear that we need to revisit the approach on how best to address the problem of foreign thieves that steal and sell American inventions and products. It's not quite so simple. Lamar Smith likes to simplify things, and on this he's somewhat wrong. Making the right move, though, to delay. They're going to delay action on that on the SOPA Act in the House of Representatives. The candidates last night addressed this, so let's listen to what the candidates said, and we'll talk a little bit about what's going on in the House and Senate and what can come of that, because it's not going to go away entirely. They're going to water something down. They're going to put it before the Congress, then they'll put it before the president. The White House had already backed away on this. Let's look now. These are Gingrich, Romney, and Paul, who are all decidedly against SOPA. No surprise in Paul's case. This is clip number 8.
Well, I favor freedom. And I think that if I think that we have a patent office, we have copyright law. If a company finds that it has genuinely been infringed upon, it has the right to sue but the idea that we're going to preemptively have the government start censoring the internet on behalf of giant corporations' economic interest strikes me as exactly the wrong thing to do.
The truth of the matter is that the law as written is far too intrusive, far too expansive, far too threatening to freedom of speech and movement of information across the internet. It would have a potentially depressing impact on one of the fastest growing industries in America, which is the internet and all those industries connected to it.
I am pleased that the attitude is sort of mellowed up here, because the Republicans, unfortunately, have been on the wrong side of this issue. And this is a good example on why it's good to have somebody that can look at civil liberties and work with coalitions and bring people together. Freedom and the Constitution bring factions together. I think this is a good example.
You know, it's funny with Republicans. They want government when it suits them, and in general, they like to project themselves as people that can't stand government. So you're listening to these three talk about their distaste for SOPA. What I thought was interesting also that Gingrich did is he pitted Hollywood. He said to me, it strikes me as exactly the wrong thing to do. He's being forced to choose between the economic interest of Hollywood, of course, Republican crowd assuming boo, and virtually everybody who is technologically advanced. Anytime you can single out Hollywood, it's like starting a debate and singling out the elite media and making fun of them. So there were points to be gained there. Rick Santorum, less emphatic about it, much more reserved about his feeling on SOPA, and you get the feeling, you don't even get the feeling, you know if Santorum was there that he would be supporting SOPA. Rick Santorum, clip number 9.
I don't support this law, and I agree with everybody up here that it goes too far, but I will not agree with everybody up there that there isn't something that can and should be done to protect the intellectual property rights of people. The internet is not a free zone where anybody can do anything they want to do and trample the rights of other people. I agree this goes too far. But the idea that, anything goes on the internet, where did that come from?
But who put you in charge of fixing it, Rick Santorum? I mean, come on. I'm sounding like Cenk now. There are bounds of reason here. You can look at something like SOPA and PIPA, and you could say, it's a perfect example of how Rick Santorum, like so many Republicans, want to govern. They want to come in there and say that there are places where you can say it goes too far. There are restrictions a government can put on you. That's government, man. That's government. If you want to be against government, be against government. But what you're doing right here is you are pro-government. You are governing. And that's a frustrating place when you see Republicans on a stage saying those things, that they're for less government, less government, less government, until it's something that we think needs governing, then we're going to govern. And it is a continuing source of frustration. Jayar.
Well, let's be honest. We know what his issue is with the internet,
right,
and how anything can be put on there.
Right.
It's kind of obvious.
It is obvious, but that's what I'm saying. It's not even veiled. You know why so many of them are against it.
Yeah, he's like, well, how can you put anything on the internet like disparage my name and turn it into something nasty?
Right.
This should be stopped now if that didn't happen to him.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Until it goes to what they say is too far. It's the First Amendment until it tries to be too much of the First Amendment, and then they want to rein it in. And that's the problem. You have internet porn out there, and all of a sudden, hey, wait a second, I got the endorsement from all those evangelicals in Texas. I better not say that I like SOPA or that I don't like SOPA. That's what it's about. And it's true. And Rick Santorum knows it's true, but he's also playing a good card here because he's somehow finally distinguishing himself from the other people on stage. It's easy to distinguish yourself from Ron Paul, but he's got to distinguish himself from Newt and from Mitt. And you get the feeling that Mitt Romney is about as convicted on this as he is on anything other than making money.